Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is your boy Pup, coach of the Green Bay Drillbears. Today we have the final regular season week of the UNPL D League facing off against Mr. Shell. But if you didn't check out last week versus Banefu, I would highly recommend it. It was a great battle. Definitely brought some really fun stuff versus them that worked really well. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. And also, if you guys haven't liked this video, do it right now because I know you're gonna like the rest of it, and obviously subscribe to the channel because we just hit 100. I think it would be great to get a couple more on there as well, because I know there are some of you that definitely should subscribe. But yeah, if you guys don't want to watch the team builders, feel free to skip ahead to the battle. But Mr. Shell's team is going to be on screen here with the Tornadus Therian, Iron Treads, Petrarunt, Rotom Heat, Terra Sinistra, Roaring Moon, Quagsire, Sylveon, Terra Alolan Raichu, Misdreavus, and Terra Masbotif. Mabostif. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But my team's also up there if you want to check it out. It should be in the corner. But I'm going a little bit easy this week. I think Mr. Shell's like right behind me in the standings, but I'm definitely in the playoffs. I think I'm 5-2 right now, so it should be completely fine. Pretty sure. I haven't actually really checked out the playoff rules or anything of this league because I know there's 4 divs. There's a lot going on, but I feel confident that we can win this game no matter what. But we're just gonna start rocking with a Landorus blunder policy on this thing. So if I miss one of my Stone Edges, I'm gonna get +2 speed. After Quagsire's dead, this goes crazy. So I have Earthquake, Stone Edge, Sword Stance, and Crunch. Crunch is there for Sinistra or Petrarunt. I mean, I'm not really for Petrarunt. But maybe like Air Balloon if they have it, or on the Alolan Raichu. So that's kind of what I was thinking. It also hits the Misdreavus. But we have a lot of speed. Just make sure we're going to be able to outrun a really offensive Petrarunt or Rotom Heat. And then once we get to +2 with Sword Stance, we're going crazy. We'll obviously outspeed everything once we get our Blunder policy activated. So we can actually go crazy versus them. I think if we get to +2 with our Blunder policy and Quagsire's dead, we might just win the game on the spot, which would be awesome. We also have Dragapult on here with the leftovers, Clear Body set with Draco, Will-O-Wisp, U-Turn, Hex. Just a pretty standard draft set. A lot of speed, just make sure we're able to outrun their Roaring Moon and Torn. Max special attack Modest, and then the rest in HP. We also have Klefki. Actually, I haven't brought dual screens Klefki yet, so maybe if they've checked this out, they might say they don't like dual screens Klefki. They're not gonna bring it. But I am this week. No attacking moves because we have Spikes, Light Screen, Reflect, and Thunder Wave. But if we're able to get our screens up, we can go to Lando. We can go to Blaziken. We can go to Articuno, which are some of our next mons, and we can set up and just sweep their entire team. Especially if that Quagsire is gone. I know it looks really good in this matchup, but hopefully I'm able to break it with Hex Dragapult. I could even break it with Ogerpon, which is my last member of the team that I haven't told you guys about yet. We do have Blaziken, like I said, with a Lumberry, just in case they have Thunderwave, Rotom, something like that. I feel like that's honestly a pretty good possibility. But we just have Sword Stance, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Stone Edge, Max Attack, Adamant, and just max speed. Didn't really feel like speed creeping anything, to be honest. They also might have Scarfers that I would want to outrun. So we just click Sword Stance turn 1, and we just destroy something with Flare Blitz or Close Combat, or that Rotom Heat with Stone Edge. And at +2, we're one-shotting everything on their team. Probably not Petrarunt, but everything else, I would say. And I guess not Quagsire. We also have a Terra Fairy Articuno with leftovers. If competitive, in case they want to drop my speed with Bleakwind Storm or something like that. In case they get any other drops. I think what else drops? I was saying Psychic on that Alolan Raichu if they want to bring that. I can get a special defense drop, or Crunch on the Masbotif. I can always get a drop, get +2 special attack. But we're just a normal Calm Mind set with Freezing Glare, Terra Blast, Recover, Calm Mind. They really don't have a switch into the combination of Freezing Glare and Terra Blast. Obviously, the Iron Treads is there, but it doesn't really take stuff very well. The Quagsire doesn't even take stuff very well, especially if they're physically defensive, which I think they should be into my team with the Blaziken, but who knows what they're really going to be. And speaking of physically defensive, we are on this thing, and just so we can take hits from the Iron Treads, we can also take hits from the Roaring Moon, especially since we're going to resist everything. But yeah, that's about it for this mon. And last up, we have the Ogerpon Wellspring with Hornleech, Ivy Cudgel, Trailblaze, Play Rough, max speed, so we're speed tying the Alolan Raichu. If we get a Trailblaze off, we'll be faster than everything. Play Rough one-shots the Roaring Moon, Hornleech / Trailblaze for that Quagsire. This is our primary method of taking care of that thing. Ivy Cudgel destroys like Rotom, destroys the Iron Treads. The only great switch in they have for this thing is like Pecharunt, who, you know, if I get like lucky with a crit on Ivy Cudgel, really doesn't check me very well. I also have Klefki that can always switch into that thing, so I'm not worried at all. But that's gonna be about it. I went through it a little bit fast, but I didn't spend too much time putting together this team. I think that we have a decent matchup into them. They have a really scared team, but I should be pretty good. Even if I lose this game, I'm not pressed about it at all. I've had a pretty good time in this league, and I should be pretty set with 5 wins right now. That's going to be about it for me. See you guys in the battle. All right, what is going on? You see their team did bring the Quagsire, which is the most annoying thing. They have 2 Terra Captains in Sinistcha and Alolan Chew. I mean, looks pretty decent. They do have the treads, which is annoying for me trying to set up hazards. As soon as we get Quag out of the way, we're in a really good spot to set up and just go crazy with our entire team. I'm thinking about just going Dragapult and clicking Willow. I think that would be a pretty good turn 1. We could also go Lando. I feel like they might lead Torn, maybe even Treads. We could just set up Spikes or turn 1 T-Wave versus them. Yeah, turn 1 T-Wave is pretty good. But I'm gonna go, yeah, I will go Klefki. We can set up the Spikes, we can T-Wave them. Obviously can't do anything to the Great Tusk. Or the Iron Treads, my bad. But that should be fine. I literally just woke up, which is funny. Playing this at 8 in the morning. But it should be good. You know, Aussie time. That's how they get you. But yeah, looking at the team, yeah, what are they gonna do? I feel like they probably have setup on Sinistcha. Quag is just there to eat all my setup because I'm a setup based team. But once I get the Torn out of the way, Ogerpon goes crazy. There's no Pecharunt or anything, which is really nice. Pecharunt was really annoying for this team to deal with. And if we get a Sword Stance up on the Lando, then we're looking pretty good. Just depends on what kind of Terra they go for. And I don't even have them straight in front of me. That's fine. See Torn. We're just gonna click Thunder Wave. They can Heat Wave or do whatever. I don't really care. I'm just gonna T-Wave. You know what, while I'm here, I'm gonna change my tabs and look at their Terra Captains. It's right in here. You guys might not be able to see this. But they are Electric Fighting Ice on Raichu and then Grass Steel Fairy on the other one. Alright, but we get the T-Wave off, which is awesome. They go out to Quag. And I might just click like Toxic or something here, which would be really annoying. They could also EQ me. I think I set up a layer Spikes first. Oh, they're gonna set up their own Spikes. Interesting. Alright, I'm going out to Ogerpon here. It does good work against their entire team. I get a completely free Hornleech. So they just set up another layer. I could Trailblaze. If I had SD, this would definitely be the time to do it. They might have like defensive Sinistcha for this. Yeah, because I don't really do anything to Sinistcha. I'll just Hornleech as they go Torn. Interesting. Get a big crit though. This 50. Or just 40, my bad. Alright, so they're like no HP. Or very minimal HP. Now, even with a para, I should outspeed and be able to take him out with Ivy Cudgel. Perfect. Torn is down. That's awesome. Now they probably go Sinistra and start to set up, which is going to be scary. But I do have the T-Wave. I have, you know, Dragapult that can try to deal. You know, Hex is going to do a lot of damage. Even if they Terra out, I just go Klefki. I get the T-Wave off on them, and then I just Hex. So they do go Sinistra. Yeah, plan here is to go Klefki. Maybe the first turn, I go for a light screen instead of just straight up Thunder Waving, as they might switch out. They do Calm Mind. I will light screen. I feel like their play should be to switch out into the Quag, or probably Treads. It's actually a really good play as well. But I'm just gonna set up the screen. I never die to a Shadow Ball here, no matter what. And then especially with the screens, we should be fine. Now, I'm guessing this thing is Terra Fairy in this game, just because of the Dragapult, but it could be Terra Steel. So they just go for another Calm Mind. Alright, we're going to get a T-Wave off. We're behind the screen. Yeah, and they're just going to keep Calm Minding. That's really, really scary. Like, really scary. I'm thinking, honestly, just going out to Ogerpon. I mean, I wish that was my best play. What about Landorus? I can do a lot with a Crunch here. Or I could even go straight out to Blaziken, but I think Lando is a little bit better. Yeah, we're going to be behind a screen for the next couple turns. What are they going to do? Just Calm Mind again. That's fine. I'm going to Crunch. Just get a lot of damage. They can't one-shot me or anything. Maybe Sword Stance would be a better play to see what kind of Terror they go for. So I'm going to do that. I'm just worried about Machagacha and burning me. So I guess I'll Crunch here. Defense drop would be nice. I have no like good way to deal with this Sinistra besides just hitting it. But I mean, we have Blaziken, who does a lot with Flare Blitz. Does around 50% to a pretty bulky Sinistra. Just like a normal Calm Mind set that you'd see. And then even at +3, like Hex is doing 50% to this thing with Dragapult. Now obviously they're going to Terra out. And then it'll only do like 20, but that's still a good chunk. I'm fine trading a lot of my team. Yeah, I feel like they're just going to click Machagacha here. Now if they Calm Mind, then I misplayed and I should have Sword Stanced. Yeah, we do just under 50 and they get fully parried. Alright, so right here is probably when they Terra. I'm going to Sword Stance here. Predicting the Terra because it could be Fairy. And then I can just Earthquake them afterwards. Now obviously they have Unaware Quagsire probably in the back. We can test it out and see if it's unaware. Because if they're not unaware, I kind of just sweep with Lando. Especially if they like just choose not to Terra. Alright, they do choose not to Terra. They're going to Strength Sap me. Honestly, that's fine. We get a really, really hard Crunch off here. Or I could SD up again. Which is pretty free, actually. At +3, we definitely take them out. They do get another Strength Sap off. But with their defense investment, it might be a roll here. I also could just SD again. I'm gonna crunch this turn. Just want to keep them chipped. Oh, no, because if they strength at me, they're gonna go to full anyways. I might as well just go again. Yeah, Tear Fairy. As they get fully paralyzed. And then we click EQ here. EQ gets us a knockout. Even if they go Unaware Quag, it's doing a lot. So we beat the Sinistra. They say GG. Maybe they're Water Absorb Quag. I mean, if they are, this knocks them out. I have to go for it. I get a crit, man. That's bad for them. I feel bad. But at this point, Ogerpon goes crazy. And it doesn't matter with the crit, like what move I go for here. It's always Trailblaze. Just to make sure I'm outspeeding Raichu. It's not a speed tie. So crit, it's annoying, but doesn't really matter in what I go for here. If they switch out, then I mean it matters. Probably. Like if they're ever able to kill Ogerpon, which I'm not sure if they are. Yeah, Raichu dies, Tread dies, and Sylveon takes 50%. So I think Ogerpon just wins here. Obviously Quag dies. Yep, we get our Trailblaze off, +1 speed. They got a Rocky Helmet, okay. I see you. I don't think they have a Terra type that, well, obviously they already Terra'd, never mind. I was gonna say with Raichu, there was no Terra type they could use to get around it. I think their play is a Sylveon, hope for a Hyper Voice crit. Because if they're uninvested, it doesn't take me out. Do go Sylveon. We'll just Cudgel. We do 68. That's a whole crap ton. Yeah, but now here we should just be able to Ivy Cudgel. And it should knock out their Treads. It should knock out Raichu, and we should get a 5-0 victory here. Let's see if they're bulky. And it's crit anyways. Man, just not Mr. Shell's day. Probably didn't matter. But we just Cudgel this Raichu. If they're Scarfed, it's a speed tie. I doubt they're Scarfed, but they could be. But we just get the Ivy Cudgel off and take them out. A good game. We get a big 5-0 victory to seal off the season. Obviously, some adverse hacks there. You know, with all the T-Way paralyzing and, you know, the Sinistra stuff. But I don't think it mattered too much. You know, all in all, we go Blaziken afterwards and we click Flare Blitz against them. And it's doing a lot of damage. Or we go Dragapult and we click Hex, and that's doing a lot of damage even with it. We go Ogerpon and Ivy Cudgel, and it's doing a lot of damage. So we're in a really good spot there anyways. They probably could have got the differential down a little bit, but you know, it's just how it worked out. The Lando set, it worked great. I'm really glad that I brought Sword Stance. I wish I got Blender Policy to work because that would have been super fun. But yeah, that's going to be about it for the regular season. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.